Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, Chapter 2, entitled Remembrance of Lord Krishna, verse number 15. Swashantarupeshvaitaraisvarupaihi abhyartamaneshvanukampitatma Paravaresho mahadamshayuktaha hiyajapi jato bhagavan yatagnihi. Translation and purport by Chandra and the Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. The personality of Godhead, the all-compassionate controller of both the spiritual and material creations, is unborn. But when there is friction between his peaceful devotees and persons who are in the material modes of nature, he takes birth just like fire, accompanied by the Mahatattva. The devotees of the Lord are by nature peaceful because they have no material hankering. A liberated soul has no hankering, and therefore he has no lamentation. One who wants to possess also laments when he loses his possession. Devotees have no hankering for material possessions and no hankerings for spiritual salvation. They are situated in the transcendental loving service of the Lord as a matter of duty, and they do not mind where they are or how they have to act. Karmis, jnanis, and yogis all hanker to possess some material or spiritual assets. Karmis want material possessions, jnanis and yogis want spiritual possessions. But devotees do not want any material or spiritual assets. They want only to serve the Lord anywhere in the material or spiritual worlds that the Lord desires. And the Lord is always specifically compassionate towards such devotees. The karmis, jnanis, and yogis have their particular mentalities in the modes of nature, and therefore they are called itara or non-devotees. These itaras, including even the yogis, sometimes harass the devotees of the Lord. Durvasha Muni, a great yogi, harassed Maharaj Ambarisha because the latter was a great devotee of the Lord. And the great Karmi and Jnani Hiranyakashipu even harassed his own Vaishnava son Prahlad Maharaj. There are many instances of such harassment of the peaceful devotees of the Lord by the Itaras. When such friction takes place, the Lord, out of his great compassion towards his pure devotees, appears in person, accompanied by his plenary portions, controlling the Mahatattva. The Lord is everywhere in both the material and spiritual domains, and he appears for the sake of his devotees when there is friction between his devotee and the non-devotees. As electricity is generated by friction of matter anywhere and everywhere, the Lord, being all-pervading, appears because of the friction of devotees and non-devotees. When Lord Krishna appears on a mission, all his plenary portions accompany him. When he appeared as the son of Vasudeva, there were differences of opinion about his incarnation. Some said he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Some said he is an incarnation of Narayana, and others said he is the incarnation of Kshirodaksayi Vishnu. But actually he is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. And Narayana, the Purushas, and all other incarnations accompany him to function as different parts of his pastimes. Mahadamsha Yuktaha indicates that he is accompanied by the Purushas and who create the Mahatattva, Mahattanva. It is confirmed in the Vedic hymns, Mahantam Vibhum Atmanam. Lord Krishna appeared just like electricity when there was friction between Kamsa and Vasudeva and Ugrasena. Vasudeva and Ugrasena were the Lord's devotees, and Kamsa, a representative of the Karmis and Jnanis, was a non-devotee. Krishna, as he is compared to the sun. He first appeared from the ocean of the womb of Devaki, and gradually he satisfied the inhabitants of the places surrounding Mathura. Just as the sun enlivens the lotus flower in the morning, after gradually rising to the meridian of Dwaraka, the Lord set like the sun, placing everything in darkness as described by Uddhava. This is the Bhaktivedanta purport.
So this is a discussion between Vidura and Uddhava. Vidura asks about Krishna and his pastimes, and the chapter is known as Remembrance of Lord Krishna by Uddhava. I think long ago I happened to visit an homeopathy doctor in our location. Both the hills, Banjara Hills and Jubilee Hills put together, is a popular doctor. All cinema actors also goes to him. So then when first time I went there, I saw the entire clinic is devoid of any pictures of God. So I'm already guessing that there's something, he is not into our line. And when I met him, I understood, of course, he is a Christian, but a highly skilled doctor. So, after the regular routine discussions, in the end, as usual, our sampradaya, I gave some prasadam box, and I also left one of our magazines, Telugu magazine, with him, and then I came off. After 1 or 2 months, again I went, just to give him the input, feedback on his first recommendations. So then, again, we had a regular routine discussions about the health and all that. And I was about to come off, then he asked me one question. Swamiji, can I ask you something? I said, yes. He says, my parents, they were converted to Christianity, and then I'm kind of a second generation, Christian in my family. And according to what I learned, they always tell me that if we commit mistakes, then we'll be thrown into hell. And so, do you believe in hell, he asked. So then I said, yes, hell and heaven are there. And then he says, no, my question is, they explain that in the hell there is a big kadai, huge kadai, and there is a boiling oil inside. And then the people who are thrown into the hell, they're all put into this kadai and boiling oil. So I was just listening to him. He asked me one interesting question. Do you think there is day and night in hell? I said, yes, there is. Then he said, Swamiji, okay, somebody has done a mistake and God has thrown him into the hell and he is boiling in the kadai and then that boiling oil. Morning and night, morning and evening and night, day after day, boiling. What is the purpose of God in this, he asked me. Okay, 1 day, 2 day boiling, he understood, it's very dangerous. Then after that he has a next life. That's fine. But according to their theory, hell is eternal. Once somebody goes to hell, permanent. This is the only life. After this life, either you will go to hell or you will go to heaven. This is their theory. So he is not able to understand. Let us say somebody goes to hell, day after day, boiling, and that too for eternity. What is the purpose? I asked him, do you see any purpose? I asked. No, Swamiji, it doesn't make sense to me. So I asked him why it is not making sense to you. He says, our own scripture says that God is very compassionate. But then I am seeing that when his child does some mistake, he is thrown into eternal hell. Doesn't make sense to me. And then he also said, your Bhagavad Gita makes sense, Swamiji. God gives one more chance. And there is next life, wherein we have an opportunity to correct ourselves and then progress further in our spiritual life. In the progressive life, this makes sense. And in the end he said, I a little bit read your Telugu book, although I don't understand so much. And then he said, I liked that mantra, your Hare Krishna. Fortunately, he started chanting some few times probably. So this is the highly contradictory picture of God. In many religions, he is depicted as a very cruel dictator, somebody who throws, he carefully monitors everybody, every smallest mistake, and then in the end throws them into the hell. Here it is mentioned, Anukampitatma, Paravaresha. God, Krishna, is described as controller, Para, Avara, Isha. Isha means he is controller, and controller of Para, the spiritual world, and Avaresha, Avara, means this world. So Krishna is certainly the controller of both the worlds, but also here it is mentioned is Anukampitatma. He is compassionate. Simultaneously, he is very compassionate. And so because he is very compassionate, he comes down Mahad Amsha Yuktaha along with his plenary portions. Although he is unborn, Ajopi Jataha, he appears as Yatha Agnihi, when there is a friction between his Swashanta Rupeshu, his peaceful devotees, and Itara, that means non-devotees. Non-devotees are not peaceful, devotees are peaceful. So non-peaceful harass the peaceful because they are very envious. So there is a contradictory picture of the Supreme Lord depicted in some of these religions, and also we see some of the jnanis and yogis, they have their own picture. And even in Vaishnavism also, sometimes there is a different kind of an understanding about Krishna. Some people say, yes, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The way we all proclaim that Krishna is Bhagavan, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But some say he is an incarnation of Narayana. Prabhupada is mentioning all these things in the purport. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, there are many slokas, in the many slokas it is explained how Narayana is actually an expansion of Krishna. Krishnadas Kaviraj Maharaj, very elaborately he explains how Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And there are also others who says he is the incarnation of Shri Gosai Vishnu. It is mentioned that generally Shri Gosai Vishnu, he comes down into this universe in his various forms. So even Krishna and Balaram are also incarnations or expansions of Shri Gosai Vishnu. It is mentioned in Vishnu Puran that Vishnu plucks white and black hairs from his head, and then he places them in the wombs of Devaki and Rohini, and they are the incarnations of Krishna and Balaram. Of course, our acharyas have refuted this. Very simple refutation that Vishnu doesn't get old, so he doesn't have any white hair. So there is no question that he can take out some white hairs and then make him into Balaram. So like that, it is not easy to really understand Krishna's position, which is proclaimed in Bhagavatam as Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. understanding Krishna, understanding, gaining freedom from all these misconceptions and speculations, he is very important for a devotee. Actually, Krishnadas Kaviraj Maharaj concludes that chapter saying that one should not be lazy in understanding the tattva of Krishna, the truth about the Supreme Lord. So, in Vaishnava Sampradayas, many scholars, I discussed with one scholar also, he always they try to prove that Narayana is the Supreme Lord, and they also say that Krishna's name is not there in the Vedas. Only Narayana's name is there, Vishnu's name is there, but whereas Krishna's name is not there. Like that, there are innumerable arguments, but we see that in the Gaudiya Parampara, in our Parampara, Krishna's position, the Supreme Lord's position, is very vividly brought out by quoting from various scriptures. Nana Shastra Vicharanaika Nipuno. The Goswamis have analyzed the various scriptures very scrutinizingly, and they have established the real, the principle that Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Krishna is the Supreme Lord. And although he is Supreme Lord, the Lord appears into this world whenever there is a yatagni, there is a friction between devotees and non-devotees. Prabhupada is quoting in the purport two examples of that Durvasa Muni, who is a great yogi, and also about Prahlad Maharaj, about Hiranyakashipu harassing Prahlad Maharaj. Prabhupada calls Hiranyakashipu as a karmi and a jnani. So, whether he could be a karmi, jnani or yogi, maybe worshipping some devata or demigod, but they pick up, when they pick up quarrel and then try to harass the pure devotees, Krishna appears. He appears. Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Mrudayanti Yuge Yuge. So Lord appears in every age as soon as the enemies of Indra increase in this world and create a lot of troubles. So Prabhupada is saying, who are these pure devotees? He is explaining Swashanta Rupeshu Itarai Swarupai. Swashanta means devotees are by nature peaceful because they have no material hankering. In fact, Prabhupada says devotees have no hankerings either materially or even spiritually. They don't even aspire for possessing something material or even spiritual. Whereas yogis and jnanis, they want to possess some material possessions. For example, jnanis, they want to get liberation, salvation. Whenever some devotees are having, there are, say, any bad habits, and is struggling to come out of, such tendencies, or whenever there is something which is pulling him down in spiritual life, and if a devotee becomes completely focused on trying to come out of it, actually that tendency is called mokshakami. Mokshakami means he is becoming interested in liberation from that particular problem. But whereas Prabhupada is saying here, whatever may be happening to us, a devotee's mood is, he wants to execute his loving devotional service to Krishna as a matter of duty. Whatever may be happening in our lives, either positive or negative, some ups and downs, and various other challenges, What a devotee does is, he takes his duty as a matter of duty and he regularly executes it. Whenever there is some challenges in our life, our tendency is to, we don't get so much of interest in doing our services. Our mind will be disturbed. There is peace will not be there, and then what happens is, we don't feel like focusing on the service. But here, Prabhupada is giving one interesting hint that we should continue to execute our services as a matter of duty. Actually, as we regularly do our duties, the duties apparently becomes little routine. And so these routine prescribed duties have to be done as a matter of duty. That means it is the duty given by my spiritual master, and so I have to execute it for his pleasure. It doesn't matter whether it is you are feeling a lot of buoyancy in you, you are very happy, or whether you are feeling not so happy. It doesn't matter. Irrespective of our emotions, either positive or negative, one has to execute his duties as a matter of the duty towards Guru and Krishna. This is a very important training, because although we are also trying to become devotees, we are still having Swarupair. We are also harassed by material modes. The three modes of material nature, they constantly induce faithlessness in the jiva. It is so difficult to accept the supremacy of the Supreme Lord, Krishna. Continuously, godlessness is infused through false egos. So that's why the people who are under the three modes, like yogis, jnanis and karmis, they want to become supreme. They continuously try for supremacy. And when a pure devotee says that they are not the supreme, but there is a supreme personality of Godhead Krishna, so obviously there is a friction. There is a quarrel, there is a fighting between these categories. But our situation is that we are not yet standing on the pure, loving, devotional platform. Our situation is we are sadhakas. Prabhupada is referring to pure devotees, svashanta rupeshu. Now sadhaka means sometimes we are standing on the pure devotional platform, but sometimes the modes are getting mixed up and then we don't have that enthusiasm. This is the scenario. And so when our devotional service gets mixed up like that, then sometimes we don't feel like doing our duties, or they become very routine, same things again and again. Even sadhana may become very routine, and then slowly the devotee gets accustomed to become little loose and lapsed in his practices. So that's why for sadhakas, this doing as a matter of duty is a very important and a wonderful platform to work from. Even though we may not be working on the platform of pure devotion, where you completely know that I am an eternal servant of Krishna and this is where my happiness is. Sometimes we feel like that, but sometimes we don't feel. So then, instead of falling down to the platform of, say, karmi or jnani or whatever, the best platform to work is on the platform of matter of duty. It is my prescribed duty. Karmanya eva adhikara. It is within my duty that it is my duty, so I have to execute my duties. So this is a very important cultivation for the devotees. And this is, when somebody does like that as a matter of duty, then slowly he will be elevated to Sattva-guna. Our whole morning program, the sadhana bhakti, is aimed in such a way that we can get out of the lower modes which are continuously pulling us down. We can come to Sattva-guna. Now, coming to Sattva-guna, it is not an ordinary, easy situation. Sometimes it can take many decades or even many lives to complete this anartha nivrutti phase. Particularly if the devotee is somehow becomes a little slackened, it can take many, many lives. But of course, if somebody, as a matter of duty, goes on, executes, he neglects his emotions which are trying to pull him down, and then executes its duties as a matter of duty for the satisfaction of Guru, then gradually he'll be elevated. So now here, what is the meaning of doing duties as a matter of duty? Such a devotee, he will not be waiting for some inspiration to do his duty. Some inspiration, if I'm inspired, then I will do. If I'm not inspired, then I will not do. Now Shastra is saying, no, you should not be waiting for any inspiration. It's my duty, I have to do it. Say deity worship is there, or LLP services are there, or any other preaching services are there. Sometimes after giving class for sometimes, many years, we become little, again and again I have to quote, Dehano asminada dehe kaumaram yavanam jara. But look at Prabhupada. Somebody was analyzing what is the shloka that he quoted maximum. It is, one of those is, this Dehano asminada dehe. Wherever he goes, he quotes this verse. Because one more is Sarvadharman Paritya. For Prabhupada to repeat Dehano asmin must be very boring. No. Why it is not boring? Because he is seeing that these are the words of my Lord, Krishna. He is fascinated. Krishna's words. So that, as long as we are not fascinated by Krishna, his name or his form, and it is not easy to suddenly come to that level. We have to cross through this. First, the devotee will be elevated to Sattva-guna, and then he will be taken to the higher platform. So that's why we have to be very careful. No need to artificially wait for some inspiration. Guru's words are the inspiration for me. That's all. There is no need of any other. Also, one more important thing is, he executes his duty proactively. He doesn't wait for anything, some kind of an inspiration, nor he just waits for somebody to come and put pressure. You have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this. No. He acts proactively. That means, I know I have to be there at a certain function or an appointment at an event at so and so time. He works backwards, he plans, he prepares, and he tries to reach on time. This is called proactive execution of our duties. Only when something goes wrong, or if somebody puts pressure, or then only I will work. No, that's not called execution of our duties. Our duty has to be taken very seriously. This is the only wealth I have. This is the only gift I have got. So let me do this service to my best capacity. This is the devotee's mode. And as soon as he completes a certain quantity of that service, he immediately starts taking pleasure that yes, this is getting completed. And once it is done, yes, I am thankful to Krishna, Guru and Krishna, that I got one more day's service. Before he is sleeping on his bed for the day, he says, one more day in your service. Let me get chance for one more day. So this is the development of that mood of servitude. Mentality of servitude is very important. And that comes gradually. Because in this world, the mood of mastership is high. As I said, everybody wants to be the supreme, master and all that. That is very high. That is because of the modes. Any mode influencing will only give that master kind of a feeling. But gradually, devotees, by executing their duties, as a matter of duty, he will gradually develop that servitude. That is called sevon mukha. This is a very key word that the Shastra uses. Sevon mukha. Unmukha means he is ready for service, or he has got an attitude of service. Only when somebody develops that attitude of service, then things starts revealing to him. How to execute our duties, how to chant our rounds, how to do our services. Everything gets revealed to him as soon as he develops that unmukha. Sevonmukho hi jivhado. Otherwise, he will have the feeling of Isha. I am the Supreme. Supreme means what? He will be waiting for everybody to serve him. That is Isha feeling. But a devotee is not like that. He is not waiting for somebody to come and serve, somebody to come. He keeps doing his duties. He wants to give service to others. He wants to give service to Guru and Krishna, and that too without any expectation. Without any expectation of either any hankering for some kind of a position, or some kind of a recognition, or some kind of a possession, some kind of a property, or this and that. He has no such calculations in his heart. He is only interested in, it is given to me as a duty, so let me do this to my best capacity. And through this duty, Guru and Krishna takes the jiva out of this material illusion. So this is, so the devotee, he doesn't possess anything material or spiritual. Spiritual possessions means particularly liberation. Spiritual assets means but then a living entity cannot live without having any possession. He has to feel that I possess something. He has to feel. Otherwise he cannot actually live. So that's why Shastra explains that one should feel that his only property is the lotus feet of the Lord. This is his only possession. Krishna is mine and I am Krishna's. This is the thinking of a devotee. So a devotee should possess the lotus feet of Guru, lotus feet of Krishna, and how you take care of the possessions, how you are very attached to your possessions. Similarly, we should get attached to the possessions of the lotus feet of Guru and Krishna. This is the devotee's mood. So, pure devotional path is not easy. It is made easy because we have taken shelter of a pure devotee, Prabhupada's lotus feet. So, devotees should carefully read line by line and understand how it is applicable to him. Understanding is different from just reading the statements. Just by taking up those, reading those statements, it gives a feeling that we have understood and we have learnt everything. But actually that is not true. Understanding means one has to apply his intelligence. One has to apply his intelligence. And one easiest way to apply the intelligence is to ask questions. This is an important phase. Particularly in this world of WhatsApp and social media and the bombardment of various information, there is a feeling that we know everything. In the modern world, even the children or even the young people, they feel that we know everything. If I don't know also, it doesn't matter, I can just ask ChatGPT. Previously they used to ask Google, now I can ask ChatGPT. You will see all the summary coming up very nice, in nice format, so I know. So that level of knowing is not sufficient. Like when we eat any food, just by eating a lot of it is not sufficient. You have to digest it. And then after digesting it, then comes the energy, nutrition or whatever that body is required. Similarly, when you go on putting a lot of things in your mind, yes, you are eating, but it has to be digested too. And that happens by intellectually trying to understand those statements and see how they become applicable to us, and that's how our understanding gains. One interesting way to understand, to know whether we have really understood it or not, is to, after reading this paragraph, close the book and then see whether you can repeat the essence of that paragraph in your own words. See whether you can repeat that. Or even more best is, write down your understanding. So when you start writing down, you will see that there are many gaps in our, in our actual understanding. And then again, you will be forced to go back to this paragraph and then read again. So very important. That's why Krishna says, pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Lord is saying that there is a role for pariprashna. In acquiring knowledge from Guru, yes, pranipata is important. Yes, you have to be surrendered. That means we are not going to challenge these words. But Krishna is also saying pariprashna is also required. So it's not that we have to ask a lot of questions to this thing, but actually we have to ask ourselves. Pariprashnena, then sevaya. Then once you become very convinced about Krishna, about devotional service, about these various statements of the scriptures, you become very fired up to do seva. So pariprashna, pranipata should lead to doing nice seva, and seva with lot of enthusiasm. So these things are possible provided we apply our mind, our intelligence on the statements of Prabhupada. Actually, these are the real assets for all of us. Prabhupada books is transcendental purports. A devotee should be absorbed. The sacrifice for a brahmachari is mentioned in the 4th chapter, that his sacrifice is hearing, that shabda should be running in his mind. This is the sacrifice. So if the devotee is sacrificed like that, their energies, their time in hearing these transcendental sounds, particularly given by Prabhupada, then he becomes very enthused and executes his services nicely. But irrespective of our emotions, one should go on doing his services as a matter of duty, and that will lead to Sattva-guna. We'll stop here Any questions? Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. And this Utsaha Nishchaya Dhairya Tat Tat Karma Pravartanat Sangha Tyaga Sato Vritte Shadbir Bhakti Prasidhyati. Nectar of instructions. And in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Mam Chayo Abhyabhicharena Bhakti Yogena Sevate Sagunan Samatityetan Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. So it's in line with today's verse, what you were explaining. But in a devotee's life, how do we know that we are in which mode? Means, how do we reflect that I am being conducted by which mode? Whether I am too much passionate, or I am under ignorance, or I am in sattva guna, or like how do we reflect? How do we know our standing? Which mode we are conducted?
Yeah, actually, it is very important to understand our own body and mind, our own, this yantra. Very important. We are not this body, but we cannot be ignorant of this body. Because this yantra influences us. Every moment, all the places, this yantra is continuously influencing us. And because the yantra was trained up for millions of years towards sense gratification, towards supremacy, towards possessing many things, it is important that we have to. Now, what is this sadhana bhakti? Nothing but training this yantra. You have to, matter of duty means you are training this yantra. Yes, you have to attend sadhana, you have to do your duty. It creates a lot of illusions. So that's why we should not be in ignorance about our own body. So it's a good question. We have to gradually understand where I stand. So I would say that education about understanding ourselves, I would say it begins with our eating habits. It begins with the tongue, our devotional service. So it is good to understand our eating habits. Whether I am this food, whether it is suiting me or it is not suiting me, what disturbs my consciousness. See, actually, prasadam, if we properly honor with Krishna consciousness, there is no question of any trouble. But the problem with us is there is no Krishna consciousness while eating. We just eat like a normal eating, and there is no consciousness maintained that this is Krishna's mercy and it's a transcendental food. There is no such either thinking or there is no realization like that. So that's why we have to be careful to understand. Like Prabhupada was asked by that Bob in that question, perfect questions and perfect answers. He says, let us say, if there is a chilli, Prabhupada is explaining that whatever is there on the plate you should eat. Everything is prasad. Then he is asking if there is a chilli, then if it is, for me it is. Then Prabhupada says, if your vision is that you are seeing chillis and tamarind and this and that, you cannot artificially imitate a higher platform that is all Brahman, it's a transcendent, it's Krishna's mercy. These things are not there. So then yes, you have to be careful. You have to understand what suits you and what doesn't suit you. What agitates your senses and what doesn't. And let us say if I eat many sweets in the night, or if I overeat in the nights, it has certain repercussions. No, we should understand. If you eat too much of paneer, then you may get sexually agitated. That you have to understand. So our body understanding begins with understanding these varieties of foods and their impact on us. And also, let us say we are falling sick too many times, and we have to see whether it has any correlation with the the food that I am taking, my food habits. For example, it is said that we should eat only when we are very hungry. That means the previous food is already digested. Here, you cannot walk into the ashram prasadam hall just like that and then, okay, agaya, anyway, I have come inside and so take one more plate of food and then your previously morning breakfast is not yet digested, you are not still feeling hungry and then you load another one more plate. So this, of course, this is called overeating and it has its own serious implications. So gradually devotee, because he is chanting and performing devotional service, is able to see, all this impact, the implications on his consciousness, how the body is trying to pull him down. He understands, and so gradually he rectifies all those things. So coming to some kind of a sattvic level in our eating habits is very important. Very, very important. Of course, in the beginning days we can eat well and it gets digested also. But as we grow older, you have to reduce the quantities, number of times, and what type of items. Let us say somebody is not very careful about eating sweets, for example. As we grow older, it can lead to many other complications. Of course, nowadays diabetes, not only by sweets, by many other reasons it is coming into the... Now so many diseases are coming. Even youngsters, they are also having a lot of diseases. So very unfortunate. So by carefully understanding our body, what suits and what not suits, we can keep our bodily thing little on a sattvic platform and then we can execute our services. One boy joined in Hyderabad. He is just 18 years. And in the application joining form, we ask, you mention if you have any health issues. And so, he came for interview. And then I was going through his form. And then I came to this page where he has mentioned all his health issues. And I counted those health issues. He is having 18 years and 18. I said, if you become 25, what will happen to you? Will it become 25 or is it going to be something less? Very unfortunate in the outside world because they have no idea of managing their eating habits, sleeping habits and all this. So we have to start as basic as that and then gradually improve our... for example, with respect to work, you can see when I have to do, let us say the immediate tendency is to postpone the work. That means ignorance is active. Ignorant person only postpones. He has got a procrastination. Any time when you want to do some work, immediately mind says, no, abhi nahi, baad mein. So then okay, ignorance is trying to influence me. Or you a lot of energy to do, but in the end you are expecting that somebody should recognize me. Somebody should say, yes, very good. Or at the end of some few years, yes, I need some designation. No expectation. It may come on its own. You take that as prasadam and go on. But you are not building up any hankering for it. Like that, this is one more important. So like that, gradually you will see that there are a lot of things to handle in this machine. So regular reading, regular association with Vaishnavas, that is the only remedy. Nicely read and analyze and how I can take out all the wrong understandings so that I can become a better devotee. This is the goal of our life. And particularly for missionaries, such a wonderful opportunity. We can read, we can spend time. Sometimes, okay, our services may be there, we are very busy. Even then, we should not neglect our reading at least. Every day something should go inside. And that is the, what do you call, it's like an armor protecting us from the Maya's influence. We stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.